Now the moment that made Anfield really nervous, because you were saying we haven't seen much of Cunha, your man.
Yeah.
But then he is capable of doing this, isn't he?
In today's video, we will be watching and reacting to the guys in the studio break down and give a full analysis on the match. As always, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. So have a watch of this.
One of those players who knows how to win a Premier League title for Liverpool. You can hear what it means to him. Let's go all the way back to that first goal. Seems a long time ago after the way that second half went. Luis Diaz, in the end, credited with his 9th goal of the season. You weren't impressed with Wolves in the build-up?
Not really. Doherty selling himself really in the build-up. From Liverpool's point of view, it was a good break. But I felt they had to score at this type of goal at the start because Wolves, when they banked in for the first 15 minutes or so, they would look really strong, but then as soon as they got the ball and they lost it, then that's when Liverpool looked dangerous on the break. They could have avoided it. Diaz did well to let it hit him in the mid-drift and obviously bobble it in. And it was a really good start, but Wolves were in the game until then, and they weren't creating much, Liverpool.
And then everyone, after this happened, thought it was 2-0 Liverpool. We're overall happy this is a penalty, Berber?
It is a penalty because of poor judgment from the goalkeeper going out for the ball, but as we spoke before that little nudge, that little push here, getting the defender out of balance so he cannot properly connect with the ball. And then, of course, very clever from Diaz, just going for the ball. I think the keeper should do better, maybe take his hands in the last moment, because knowing that the ball is going to go out of play, but still catching him, and it's a pen.
And when you're a manager and you've got a penalty and you've got Mo Salah, it must be a great feeling.
Yeah, I think you light your cigar up.
If you smoke, of course.
You just fancied him, didn't you? He sometimes you see him go left of the keeper, right of the keeper. This moment he's gone down the middle, and with a little dink, not quite the little dinky poos that we see, but he's just played it in there, and they weren't at their best today, Liverpool. But those type of things went their way on the day, and they got the points.
But they were fairly comfortable with a 2-0 half-time scoreline. Then it changed in the second half, and you think very early on, our Premier League debutant from Zimbabwe, Marshall Manetsi, forced Alisson into a big save.
This is a massive moment in the game, when he gets in here, look, he gets one-on-one, they put him up front, he's a midfield player, really. Lovely little flick, he's through one-on-one. You take that opportunity, which he'll be disappointed he didn't, but it's a good run. Look, he's looking, it's a beautiful little flick. And he's just got to keep his calm a little bit. He's just entered the pitch. It's his debut, his heart must have been going. Just needed that little calmness maybe to dink the ball over the keeper.
Yeah. Cop ending 4 minutes into your Premier League debut.
He hit it. He took it too late. Took it late, and he hit it too hard. Sometimes less is more in that situation. The harder you hit, if the goalkeeper comes out and he stands big, the harder you hit it, the more the goalkeeper hasn't got time to move at all. So as he's going down, if you take pace off it, of course it gets to the goalkeeper slower, so he will be down another few inches by the time the ball is coming towards him. So sometimes in scenarios, less is more. And I thought if he was going to go for that finish, he needed to do it earlier. Once he delayed and delayed, I thought he's going for the dink here, and then he still smashed it at him. So I just think he needed he needed it either take it a little bit earlier, hit it into the near post now, or once he doesn't and he takes another stride or two, then the dink comes into play. Not a very good finish, but anyway, it was a big chance.
It was, and Liverpool got one penalty, as we saw. They were then awarded another one, which was later reversed with an on-screen review. Are you happy with everything in the outcome here, Berber?
The outcome, yes, because obviously it was not a pen, in my opinion. You can clearly see here there's no contact whatsoever, and then Jota trying to be a bit clever, going with the left foot into the hip of the defender. And of course, as we saw, the referee took the right decision. But there's a couple of scenarios that Jota can do here. Here, for example, he can shoot straight away. He decides to go past the defender. I'm still wondering why he decided to go for the pen.
Actual fact.
But he's in front of everybody, even if someone's come behind him.
It's almost like he's made his decision now. He's sort of saying, I'll flick it now, he's going to hit me. But in actual fact, there's no contact there. And I think it's the correct decision, without a doubt,
Yeah. Definitely the right decision. But I agree. I think once you made your mind up, I think he's going to hit me here, and you've just got penalty on your mind. It's quite hard to think, oh no, I'll stay on my feet and then have the chance. But in hindsight, that's exactly what he should have done. Shot early or cut inside and shot. But I think he just thought, I'm going to get clattered here, I'm going to go down for a penalty, and then he didn't have the presence of mind to switch.
Now the moment that made Anfield really nervous, because you were saying we haven't seen much of Cunha, your man, but then he is capable of doing this, isn't he?
Well, brilliant players have moments in them, don't they? He didn't have, you know, his best of games. I've seen him play a lot better, but his disguise there in the shot and then the finish, I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. And, you know, he's got this, Glenn.
Oh, he's fantastic. He makes a new angle. Look, the keeper there, Alisson there, the two defenders are gone for a chock eyes. And as he comes back in on that angle, I'm not blaming Alisson, but the beauty of making a skill like that is you change the angle of the ball when he chops it back in. Now, the keeper has to make a new position. He's in perfect position, suddenly he's not in good position. He's got to move his feet and cover both sides of the goal. And I don't think Alisson did that. I'm not blaming him for the goal because it was a beautiful, beautiful finish. It really was. And that's what he can do. You've got certain players that sometimes don't have to be at their best. They've just got this magic in them. And he showed that today.
And he's now got 12 goals this season for a team in the bottom four, last season's total match. Now, your prediction of draw, beforehand, these two were smiling. It almost came true. Jurgen Cunha with a challenge which was as good as a goal here, really, Berber.
Yeah, and as we watched the whole game, the first half, yes, Liverpool dominating side, score goals. Second half, though, completely different. And Wolves, by the end of the game, I think they deserve to take something on it. And that chance here is perfect example. Great build-up, great pass. But the moment that makes the difference here is the reaction of Jurgen Cunha in tracking back. Because if you can watch clearly, he's watching the attack, but the moment when the ball goes to the guy who is crossing it, Jurgen is watching the attack, and now he sprint because he sensed that the cross is coming, and he needs to be there to intervene. So it's a great tackle.
And it helped Liverpool win the game and go 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Right, one down, one to go.
Well, Andy, that must feel like a huge win, having been stung so late on Wednesday. What was the difference out there this afternoon? How did you get that over the line?
Yeah, we just managed to dig deep. You know, obviously 2-0 at half-time. We know that can be one of the most dangerous results in football, and we had to come out and we had to start well, and we didn't quite do that. So I think second half was a slog, maybe, you know, playing Wednesdays, you know, to get out a few of the lads or whatever, but it was all about being, you know, trying to use the experience that we've got on the pitch, trying to use, you know, everything that we've got. And I thought we dug deep. You know, when they score, I think, you know, everyone gets nervous, the players get nervous, the crowd get nervous. Of course, that's only natural, but, you know, it's a massive win for us, and you know, another game down.
Without a shot at all in that second half, Liverpool, you mentioned that fatigue, really. Is that what you would put it down to, your lack of effort on goal in that second half and all that defensive work you had to do?
It's maybe part of it, but I thought Wolves were excellent second half. I thought, obviously, they've made a couple of changes at half-time. You know, they were 2-0 down, and they probably went a little bit more attacking, put more forward players up in the areas, and that made it more difficult for us. But, you know, we've got to be better on the ball. Of course we have, and we know that, but I think this result is big. You know, obviously after you know, Wednesday, and obviously getting put out the FA Cup, it's important just to get back on a winning streak, and you know, hopefully this can be a start one.
Right, well done, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments. In other news, Liverpool are said to be eyeing a move for Alexander Isak this summer, with a Newcastle reporter claiming genuine substance to recent links to the Swede. Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo are enjoying excellent seasons out wide for the Reds, particularly the former, but there have been issues down the middle of the attack. Luis Diaz has done well at times in a new central role, but is now without a goal or assist in his last 10 appearances. While Diogo Jota's injuries and Darwin Núñez's finishing have been an issue. The same can't be said of Isak, who has been one of Europe's top strikers in 2024-25, scoring 17 goals in 22 Premier League appearances. According to the iPaper's Mark Douglas, who reports closely on Newcastle, links surrounding Liverpool signing the attacker appear to have some substance after some tenuous links up to now. Douglas reports that an asking price of £150 million has been speculated, which would smash the British transfer record, and that both Arsenal and Liverpool have interest, along with Barcelona. Newcastle, though, are said to have no intention of selling the man most likely to help them punch their ticket back into the Champions League. Unfortunately for Liverpool, there is no current financial pressure on Newcastle to sell the 25-year-old due to a much improved PSR position for Eddie Howe's side. Isak is contracted at St James's Park until the summer of 2028, further showing why an eye-watering bid would be required to prize him away. It is hard to think of a more exciting option to come in and bolster the Reds' attack this summer than Isak. At 25, he is coming into the peak of his career, and Liverpool have already felt his wrath this season when he fired home a stunning strike in the 3-3 draw at St James's Park. Admittedly, Isak hasn't been without injury problems, and £150 million is a staggering amount of money, but he would be a world-class addition. The Sweden international has scored the same number of league goals as Diaz, 8, Jota, 5, and Nunez, 4, combined this season. Using Diaz as a striker ultimately hasn't fully worked, while there are too many long-term doubts about Jota and Nunez for different reasons. Ultimately, Newcastle looks set to hold firm with Isak, knowing how important he is, but it is a signing Liverpool should do all they can to complete. In some other news, Arne Slot believes Liverpool's performance in Wednesday's Merseyside derby showed his table-topping players are mentally stronger than last year. Liverpool were far from their best in the cauldron-like atmosphere as Goodison Park hosted its final Merseyside derby and were denied victory when James Tarkowski struck 8 minutes into time, added on to earn Everton a 2-2 draw amid chaotic scenes. Slot's immediate reaction led to him being shown a red card after the final whistle, but having taken time to reflect on the game, the Dutchman pointed to the positives. I think the players really stood up in a positive way, he said, mentally being so strong in those circumstances if you don't play your best game. Part of our game plan was, of course, to prevent them from playing so many balls into our box, but it's difficult to prevent that if you concede 20 free kicks. Then you just have to act on what is their strongest asset maybe, playing the balls in with all these centre-backs and full-backs coming up. And apart from the first goal we conceded from a free kick, I think we defended that really well. Players showed that they are more than 11 quality individuals that can play together in ball possession so well. They also showed they have great mentality again in what I've experienced until now, the most difficult circumstances we played until now. Slot believes that mental strength will help Liverpool as they seek a 20th top-flight season. Going into the weekend, they sit 7 points clear of Arsenal with 14 games to go. The second half of the season is always more difficult than the first half for many reasons, Slot said. Some teams bring new players in, some teams have been playing longer together, so they're playing better together. Some teams bring new managers in, like Everton and David Moyes, and Everton is doing a great job, and the one from Wolves has made them better as well. You can't expect to go out there and have an easy win. It's always going to be a tough one, but the players have shown all season they're ready for tough games. That brings us to the end of today's video. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed it, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily Liverpool content. Thank you.